Hi, everyone. It's Mitch and Chris from SportsChatPlace.com here with your free Mountain West Conference college football picks for Week 9 of the 2020 college football season. Of course, SportsChatPlace.com is the original, still the biggest and best free pick site. We got free picks in every game, every single day. Of course, if you're looking for our best bets, those are the ones you find in our premium area. It's underneath the premium picks tab at SportsChatPlace.com. We give out thousands of free picks every single month. And, of course, we don't bet on all of them. And some picks we're going to like more than others. Some we love, some we feel really strongly about. Some we're just really giving an opinion that we lean one way or the other. Tough to have strong conviction on every single game out there. But we know millions of fans every month want to find out what opinions we have on these games. So that's why we do free picks on every game every day. And, of course, the reason we have the premium picks area is to let you know which of these games we like the best, which ones we're betting, which ones we're most confident. The games, if we could just cherry pick the games that we want, these are those games. So, of course, you can get those at sportschatplace.com under the premium picks tab. But, Chris, let's get to the Mountain West Conference slate of games. This is our new way of doing these conference videos. Going to give it a try of just doing one conference at a time, so be sure to check out all of our conference videos that we've done. We've also done a few individual ones for some of these primetime games. But let's get to the Fresno State versus Colorado State game. This one is on Thursday, October 29th.
Yeah, and I tell you the truth, really didn't like how Fresno State looked against Hawaii. Colorado State still got Patrick O'Brien leading the offense from when Colin Hill was injured, and Mike Bobo left that offense in pretty decent shape. They don't have the running back from last year, but I still think this O'Brien is enough to help Colorado State get the job done. So I'm going to lay the points with Colorado State on the road here.
I'm going to go with the over in this one. I don't like the way Fresno State tackles, and we haven't seen Colorado State yet. So normally offense is a little bit ahead of defenses. So I'm going to take the over. And our next game, we've got Wyoming against Hawaii. Wyoming upset as a favorite last game against Nevada. And meanwhile, Hawaii dominated Fresno State in their game.
No, absolutely. And, Hawaii definitely looked really good against Fresno State, like we were saying. And Wyoming, that line still kind of baffled me a little bit. I didn't understand why Wyoming was favored against Nevada when I actually kind of think Wyoming got worse compared to last year's team. A lot of holes on defense, and I think that's going to be the story here as well. I'm going to lay the points with Hawaii in this one.
Yeah, I think for this one that I'm going to go with the under in this one. I think there's going to be some pretty good hitting in this game, and I just think that with the cold weather, probably a little bit of a deliberate pace. So under for me in the Hawaii game. We've got Air Force getting 14 at home against Boise. Boise looked mighty impressive last week, while Air Force beaten on the road pretty badly by San Jose State.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what to expect from Air Force anymore. You would have thought the extra game would have helped Air Force out a little bit here, but it didn't do that. And, now having to take on a Boise State team that just looked like they're firing on all cylinders from the word go. And, Boise State, maybe a bit of a different team off of the blue turf, but I still like the Broncos in this one, laying the 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna go for Boise in this one as well. I had Boise big last week, and I don't see any reason. To get off of them here. Air Force did not show me much, but at home, maybe a little bit of a chance. But for me, I'm on the Broncos. San Jose State looked impressive last week at home, beating up on Air Force. Meanwhile, this week they host New Mexico, and they are a 13.5-point dog. The line opened at 9.5, now up to 13.5 as the Lobos get their first game of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of digging into this line as the week goes on, because something feels a little bit weird about San Jose State getting this many points at home. They actually looked pretty good last time out. And, New Mexico is still a 2-win team from last year, and I don't like their quarterback, Tavaka Tuioti. So for right now, getting 13.5 at home, I like San Jose State.
Yeah, San Jose State gives up bunches of yards on the road, and I think that is bunches of rushing yards. And that is part of the problem because New Mexico is a running team, and that's that's probably where this number comes from, but it definitely looks odd. So for me, I'm gonna go with the over in this game at 58.5, and I'm gonna dig a little deeper. And hopefully by Saturday when we do our live show, I'll have a little bit stronger look at this game. Like Chris said, not one that I was dialed into because it's tough when I'm a game watcher, so I haven't seen New Mexico yet this season, but we know in general they're very good running the football. We've got Utah State up against San Diego State. Utah State ran into a buzzsaw in Boise last week. They actually roared back, had the cover for a second, but Boise quickly said, "You're not covering against us," and then scored again, and don't adjust your sets. The turf is blue, and the whole Boise thing was going on. Meanwhile, San Diego State gets a win in their first game.
Yeah, and I think San Diego State's going to do a good job controlling the pace again on the ground. I think we're going to see another assertive effort from San Diego State defensively, and I think even at home, I think Utah State's going to have some trouble here, but I like the under 43.5. Also going to lean towards San Diego State, but again, this is another game I'm going to have to dig into a little bit, but my initial lean is towards the under 43.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you as well. Under 43.5. Big pressure here on the under. Makes me believe that there's probably going to be some weather in this game, and that's when you see. We did this video on Tuesday. The game is on Saturday, and when you see 5.5 points of line movement on a total, that usually means they're expecting a blizzard, and in this sort of game, and that's where I'm going to go as well. UNLV plus the 14 against Nevada. Normally, this is one of those games for late in the season. Real regional battle here. Got the Rebs plus 14 after losing last week, while the Wolfpack 1-0 start.
Yeah, and I think this line may be a bit of an overreaction after Nevada looked pretty good against Wyoming, but they also allowed 34 points, and UNLV, struggling to score once again. 59.5. I know the total's trending up, but I think that's a little bit high. I'm gonna go with the under 59.5 for this one.
Maybe it's just my memory is bad or something, but I always think that UNLV kind of holds up, pretty well in this game. And I think they're going to as well in this one, getting 14, which just seems to be a lot for a rivalry style of game. If we look back, quickly at the head-to-head matchups here, last year, UNLV getting 6.5, lost by 3 in overtime. The year before that, getting 14, win outright by 5. The year before that, Nevada 3.5 point favorite, winning by 7. So these games have actually been closer. You have to go all the way back to 2016 to see anything that would remotely cover this number. So I'm going to go with UNLV. I'm going to take the points. Of course, if you're looking for even more free picks, more analysis on this game, these games, and games from all the conferences, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us for our live shows every day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We give out tons of free picks on those shows. Chris, you want to recap your picks? I forgot to do the recap. I took Colorado State, the over in that game. I took the under in the Wyoming game. Boise, the over in the New Mexico game. The under 43.5 in the Nevada game. And I took UNLV.
Yeah, I've got Colorado State laying the 1.5. Hawaii minus 1.5. Boise State minus 14. San Jose State plus a 13.5 to be reviewed. Under in the San Diego State Utah State matchup, and under in the Nevada UNLV game.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us on the live show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.